The sky is often seen as a symbol of freedom and peace. But behind those seemingly gentle wings exist strict rules that not everyone knows. And sometimes, the danger does not come from another species, but appears right among individuals sharing the same species. What will happen when the survival instinct overwhelms all familiar boundaries in the sky? Let's explore. Heron versus chipmunk. Along the rocky and gravelly lake shore, a giant blue heron is patiently walking, carefully probing every crevice to search for a meal. The first peck was not perfect. The prey managed to dodge in time. It changes to a new position. The hunting machine immediately freezes, accurately measuring every centimeter before striking. The spear-like sharp beak strikes down with lightning speed, clamping tightly onto the body of the hopelessly struggling victim.
At least 25 bird species are known to dip their...
Instead of swallowing immediately, the hunter continuously thrashes the prey in the air, aiming to break its spine and completely neutralize the resistance. It dips the prize into the water. This trick helps lubricate the dry, rough fur, turning the piece of meat slippery and easier to swallow.
That's the circle of life.
The swallowing process takes place in a flash. The commonly seen elegance cannot hide the cruel coldness of the natural survival law.
Not even...
Hawk versus crow. On an empty mound of earth, a hawk is falling into a pincer movement when surrounded from all sides by an aggressive flock of black crows.
But still the question remains.
This is a direct territorial competition, where birds of prey face off to assert dominance without needing the presence of food.
Advantage of its hawk keeps defending its catfish.
Facing the majority, the hawk immediately performs a threatening behavior by spreading its wings wide and raising its neck feathers to create a giant fake body size. The crow flock is not to be outdone with the squeezing encirclement tactic, a way to test the opponent's patience and look for loopholes. Unflinching, the ruler of the sky launches powerful snaps and wing flaps, forcing the crow flock to keep a safe distance. Despite being surrounded, the bravery of a solitary assassin is still enough to hold the ground before the pressure of the flock. Owl versus pigeon. Inside the artificial nest, a strange cohabitation scene is taking place between young barn owls and a pair of pigeons. This peace is only temporary. The mother barn owl appears bringing a prize. The bloody meal is placed right next to the uninvited guests. Tension begins to escalate. Conflict erupts when the pigeon accidentally approaches the area where the brood is eating, assuming this is a threat to attack or steal food. The mother owl immediately launches a fierce preemptive strike. Powerful wing flaps along with sharp talons consecutively press the pigeon tightly against the box wall in a chaotic melee. Her eyes never leave the pigeon, establishing an absolute boundary of power. The pigeon has to leave. The nest returns to a fragile state of balance, where wariness and survival instinct are always placed on high alert. Eagle versus goshawk. High on the treetop, the mother eagle is carefully inspecting the nest. Beside her are the tiny chicks, covered in snow-white down. She carefully uses her beak to clean the nest space. The scene seems peaceful, but nature always hides unexpected threats. Danger strikes in a flash. An audacious goshawk swoops past, aiming straight at the defenseless chick. The mother eagle spreads her giant wingspan, rushing out to intercept the intruder. But what she did not expect is that the thief circled back and snatched the chick away. The atmosphere is extremely tense. The ruler of the sky now only has the sole hope of life from the last chick. The threat still lurks. The eagle flaps her wings to fly up again to avenge her child, but is once again tricked by that cunning schemer. Stork. In the natural world, survival sometimes comes with the most cruel decisions. At a white stork nest high up, the mother stork is facing a life and death choice among the 4 chicks. There is one individual that appears significantly weaker and smaller compared to the rest of the brood. Instead of comforting, the mother stork uses her long and sharp beak to clamp tightly onto the poor chick. She continuously lifts the disadvantaged child high up and then drops it down into the nest roughly. This is not a caring action, but the beginning of an instinctual natural elimination process. The chick tries to struggle and cling to the dry branches to fight for its life, but the strength of the adult bird is too overwhelming. The mother stork persistently repeats the action, brushing aside the weak resistance to prepare for the final step of this grim screening. When the decision has been made, the mother stork grips the chick tightly, brings it close to the edge of the nest, and coldly drops it to the ground from a height of hundreds of meters. Pigeon versus falcon. In the narrow corner of the nest, the pigeon pair is striving to repel the robber to protect the nest. Although the initial defense effort is successful, the cunning falcon still patiently hovers nearby. The pigeon pair presses closely together, maintaining a highly vigilant posture. They do not take their eyes off the surroundings, trying to maximally shield their nest. When the space gradually quiets down, the sign of danger seems to have receded, creating a false sense of safety. Believing that the threat has truly passed, the pigeon decides to leave, leaving the area completely devoid of protection. Seizing the opportunity, the falcon immediately returns. It lands on the empty nest and heads straight to the target, closing the cold survival strategy of stalking and plundering of the natural world. Tropicbird versus pirate bird. To feed the chick waiting at the nest, the adult tropicbird must take off and reach out to the open sea. However, their biggest challenge is hovering right above their heads. The mighty pirate birds are patrolling the sky. They spot the target and immediately conduct a fierce dogfight. These pirates do not intend to take a life, but use their supreme flying skills to harass and rob the prey. Under terrible pressure, the tropicbird has to release its prey. With an artistic dive, the pirate bird snatches the prize right in midair. This coercion is part of the cruel survival law. While the chicks are still anxiously waiting, the parents must continue to gamble their lives. They try to fly close to the sea surface, continuously changing direction to escape the clutches of the persistent tailors. Despite being surrounded by risks, a few still excellently break through the siege, bringing the precious food source back to the nest safely. Heron versus snake. At the edge of the dense, muddy bank, a white heron is falling into an extremely dangerous situation. A large snake has bitten tight and clung to its wing. The bird moves down into the water, bringing along the creature clinging tightly to its body. To survive, the heron uses its sharp beak to firmly grip the reptile's body, trying to drag the enemy off its body. A silent but tension-filled tug-of-war takes place. The striped snake is extremely stubborn, determined to maintain the deadly bite. The struggle pushes both out to the deep water. The snake's weight causes the bird to lose balance. It flips over, thrashing frantically, its head submerging under the water surface multiple times. The heron's strength is quickly drained before the persistent clinging. The large bloodstain on the snow-white plumage is a cruel testament to the harshness of nature. Eagle versus goat. On the mountain peak, the golden eagle silently observes. The predator's eyes have locked onto the target, a young mountain goat in the herd.
Es preciso ponerse a salvo.
The goat herd hurriedly moves across the cliff, striving to find shelter upon realizing the threat. Swooping straight down the slope, the eagle launches a lightning-fast snatch. The sharp talons grip the young goat tightly, lifting it off the ground. It dives at high speed, using that momentum to borrow inertia to throw the prey into the air in an arc, making carrying the prey away easier. Nature is not only a gentle beauty, but also a place where strict rules are executed without hesitation. Those clashes show that to survive, even birds must face chillingly fierce competition. If you find this topic making you curious, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring the dramatically hidden corners of the wild world. See you again in the next journeys.